Yeah, and we forgot poor Donegal. I think I let my alphabetic skills down there. We forgot to discuss Donegal before all the Donegal fans come in the comments down below. Yeah, I suppose Donegal they're another interesting one as well. Like some positives in Division One. Like definitely gave a lot of good performances, bringing through great players at the moment like Kayla McGonigal, and still have Michael Murphy in there. But Donegal's an interesting one because I often wonder, like, they had Tyrone's number for years there. Like they were beating Tyrone more than anyone was beating Tyrone. Like they beat them in the league this year as well. They beat them in the championship and the league last year. They seem to have Tyrone's number. And like when you looked at the first quarter when they played each other in the Ulster Championship, you would have thought the same as well. Like they'd comfortably, they were ahead. They'd obviously, Michael Murphy had that penalty. They were creating all sorts of goal chances. Noel Morgan was making some big saves, to be fair to him. And then obviously Michael Murphy gets sent off for that kick out on Kieran McGeary. And the game really just changed from then, and Tyrone really took the initiative and won the game quite comfortably. But it is interesting with Donegal because, when you look at the fact that Tyrone have won the All-Ireland and the fact that Donegal have beaten Tyrone more than anyone over the past couple of years, Donegal must be, when they seen Tyrone win that All-Ireland, I'd say a lot of the Donegal players, that probably lit a fuel or fire under their belly a little bit, because they're like, how have they gone and won the All-Ireland when we've been the ones that have been beating them consistently? Like it's an interesting point of view, I think.
It is very interesting, but it's probably been the story of Donegal, in all honesty, over the last few years. They were all-Ireland contenders at around 18, 19, and then they go into the Super 8s and they failed miserably. I suppose the Cavan game was a testament to that last year as well. I don't know what it is about Donegal, but once they get one game away or two games away from a semi-final, they fail. I don't know what it is. Is that a mentality thing with Donegal? It's clearly not the players, because I think Ryan McHugh, Michael Murphy, Paddy McBrearty, Quayla McGonigal, another one, some superb players, Owen Bon Gallagher as well. So it isn't a players issue. Declan Bonner, I think, is a astute coach as well, so I don't think it's him. I don't know, it's just a mentality issue with Donegal. Yes, they got close to Tyrone, but I'd probably give them a D, considering they reached the Ulster semi-final. They were decent in fairness against Dublin in the league as well. And yeah, I suppose they beat down, they hammered down, but against Derry, they probably should have lost that game in any other day. And they would keep kicking themselves absolutely after Tyrone winning the All-Ireland the way they did. But yeah, I'd probably give them a D. But it's an interesting topic, all right? Like, how Donegal actually fail at the last hurdle before the semi-finals. I don't know what you think about that yourself, Aaron, but it's kind of fascinating indeed.
Yeah, and I suppose it's one of them things, like when we were discussing earlier about Joe Brolly kind of coming out with that article, and a lot of people, dishing out heavy criticism to the Mayo footballers. Like, it's interesting how some counties seem to get a free pass, and I feel like Donegal are one of them counties, for whatever reason, have gotten a bit of a free pass over the last couple of years. Like, fair enough, I know they've only won 2 All-Irelands in their history, and pre-2011 they weren't a side that was traditionally winning Ulster titles year in, year out. But I feel like they've such a good team, like they've such good players, in there, like Michael Murphy, and you think of Paddy McBrearty in there as well, and Declan Bonner obviously as the manager. Like, they'd won 2 Ulster titles back to back. They have a really good side, and the fact that they can't even seem to get into the final 4 of the All-Ireland series, and losing to Cavan last year, like, I do feel like they're a side that's really underachieving a bit. And I feel like, like what I was saying before, the fact that Tyrone have kicked on and got another level and gone all the way to win the All-Ireland, I feel like Donegal fans in particular must be very frustrated watching that, because they're a side that has the talent, that has the players there. You think of Peadar Mogan as well, like all sorts of quality in that Donegal side.
Absolutely, yeah. And you look at the young players coming through that Donegal system as well. Like, there's some superb players in that Donegal team. The fact they haven't got to another semi-final since 2014. That was the year they obviously knocked out Dublin in a shock result under Jim McGuinness. Like, they haven't reached an All-Ireland semi-final since Jim McGuinness was in charge. Like, that's a long time, considering the players Donegal have. I don't know. Again, is this a mentality issue with Donegal? I don't know. It's, as we said already, it's not the players. Like, they have some outstanding talent in that team, but I don't know. They just fail once they're one game away from the semi-final. I don't know. Is it the fact they just bottle it? I really don't know what goes on in the dressing room there, but Declan Bonner is staying on another year. I don't know what Donegal fans think about that. Was it time for them to go? I don't know really. Like they won 2 Ulster titles. They lost the Ulster final last year and they lost in the semi-final this year. So in that way, they've actually regressed rather than progressed. I don't know what Donegal fans think about that. So would they have been better off with a new manager, new ideas to try and break that semi-final stranglehold? Maybe they should have, in all honesty. And yeah, people need to start looking at Donegal. Like, they were all other contenders in the eyes of many pundits going into the Super 8s in 2018 and 2019. I can remember, like, they were hammering Ulster sides, like, including Tyrone in the 2019 semi-final. But then when they reached the Super 8s, they just don't do it whatsoever. They only win 1 game max. So I don't know what's wrong with Donegal over the last few years. They definitely have the players, but the mentality, there's an issue there, and you just can't quite put your finger on what's the problem.
Yeah, James LeBron says I'd give 1 more year for Bonner at least reach a semi-final. Yeah, definitely, you know, for Declan Bonner, I know there definitely was a lot of Donegal fans that were saying, you know, maybe they need a change in management, or, you know, maybe if Jim McGuinness was available, they'd go and bring him back in, and who knows whether there was discussions behind the scenes. I've given them a D in the end, like, I suppose, to wrap up on Donegal. What have you gone for?
I've gone for a D as well, like under expectations, just under that. They didn't do too well next year, but they'll be back next year. But again, the mentality issue was there, but I'll give them a D for league and championship this season.
Thank you very much for watching this clip of the very most recent podcast uploaded on the channel. If you do enjoy this content, please leave a like and subscribe so you're notified every time I do drop a new upload, and it does very much help the channel grow and help the channel reach more people. So I very much would appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the video. You can also follow the page on Instagram, and you can also follow on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify. You can follow on all social media platforms as well. So if you're not already followed over there, go over there and give the page a follow to help the channel grow as well. So I do very much appreciate anyone tuning in, and I'll see you all later.